Hello, fabulous Virgo. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of November 2014, General Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. This month, as I looked at the sky for you, I thought about how quickly things can really turn around and turn around very much in your favor. And there are just moments like that that happen in a life where it seems that almost overnight, some kindly angel, some good spirit working on your side snapped its fingers and everything just got better very, very quickly. That is the type of month that you could experience now. There are a lot of really good things happening in the sky for you that are indicating positive turnarounds. And also, when I think about the phrase, I mean, really, when I looked at the sky for you, I thought about the phrase rags to riches. That certainly is a possibility for you now with these dramatic and very lucky spins of the wheel that leave you in a much better place than you were before. So we've got a few things that are happening that are speaking to this. One of the things that is taking place now is the fact in the early part of the month is a full moon. And this particular full moon is happening in a part of the sky that has to do with vision. Yes, so it has to do with putting into place the things that you know you need to put into place so that you can reap maximum benefit. You can manifest to the maximum further down the road. So it is about whether it's preparation, whether it's the actions, whether it's just creating the environment, whether it's setting up the right belief systems, the right values, all of that. There's also an element here that has to do with, on the one hand, I want to say that there's one part of this that has to do with legal institutions and has to do with institutions of higher learning. And there's another part of this that has to do with accepting an adventure, like really taking on your next thrilling project with enthusiasm that in some way allows you to engage with more than you knew before, whether it's more ideas, more places, but ultimately leads you to a more expansive view of what you knew before. And so let me break it down a little bit on the literal level, okay? And I did say that there is an element here of rags to riches. So the reason I say that, the thing is that this particular full moon is speaking in supreme harmony with both Mars and Pluto. And Mars and Pluto right now are in that part of the sky that have to do with luck. They have to do with lucky turnarounds. They have to do with the lucky break. And that's why they're also sort of associated with games of chance. I am one of those people, and I often say that I do believe that each one of us is born with a lottery ticket within us. And what I mean by that is, while there is a very small percentage of people on the planet who might actually buy one of those lottery tickets for $1 and scratch it or wait for the numbers and hit a big windfall, it's a small percentage of people out there. I do believe, like, putting that aside, right, because that's chance. Putting that aside, when I say that all of us are born with a lottery ticket within us, what I mean is that there is some voice, some light really within each of us. And a big part of what we're here to do is to uncover and to realize just what that light is and to remove any obstacles to it so that it can shine bright. And it is from that place, by just allowing that light to shine, to own that light and allow it to come forward, that we experience abundance, great abundance, emotional and financial as well, or otherwise. And that is true. I do believe, I earnestly, honestly believe is true for all of us. We all have a lottery ticket within us. Our happiness, not our convenience, not necessarily the path of least resistance, not necessarily what we think is going to help us to escape the pains of our reality, but our genuine happiness rooted in reality, that thing that lights us up, that thing that makes us feel light and free. It is that very thing that points us most clearly to what our lottery ticket is. So we've got in this particular part of the sky that has to do with the proverbial lottery ticket within you and the literal lottery ticket as well in terms of game of chances. In this particular part of the sky, Mars and Pluto, this full moon is speaking in supreme harmony. And then a few days later, Mars and Pluto actually meet. They actually perfect a conversation where they meet in the sky. And they only do this once every 2 years or so. So whenever they get together, it tends to be a moment that is not easy to shake. It's not one of those things that we're likely to not notice. Mars and Pluto meeting tends to speak to at least one area of life for all of us. And for you, as I said, it has to do with this rags to riches area of life. So you put these together and it really is just as it sounds. Now, on a very literal level, this could be wonderful turnarounds in the areas of legal matters and in the areas of school as well, higher education, university environments as well. Now, Mars and Pluto is about endings, okay? Full moons also is about fruition, culmination, and endings as well. Understanding what has served its purpose, what is now ready to culminate, what is now ready for you to say, okay, I did that, I accomplished that, it's done what it needed to do, it ran its course. Full moons are also about acknowledging the truth that's been right there. In some cases, it's right in your face the whole time. However, with this particular full moon, because it is speaking in such supreme harmony with Mars and Pluto, and both these planets have their own connection to intuition, I don't think that this is going to be an ending necessarily that takes you by complete surprise. It does look like the developments that take place now are a long time coming. And again, this is happening right around the middle of the month. So it looks like these are a long time coming. It looks like there's a sense of, okay, yes, I'm ready for this finally to find its conclusion and its natural conclusion as well. I'm ready to release the strings, to let this go and to move forward with my life by allowing this closure to take place. So it may be with a legal matter. Okay, and like I said, there may be a chance very quickly, if you've had a long-standing legal matter, especially if it involves money, this could be a chance when like a deal comes through and it's very like, okay, are you going to take this? Are you not? Some sort of offer comes through at this time. So it will be up to you to decide if you're going to accept it. But I would say, as I look at these planets playing out, it looks like, I mean, Mars and Pluto getting together, as I said, it's rare. It happens once every 2 years. It does look like ultimately the offer that does come, if you are really honest with yourself, it is more than fair. It is likely to be more than fair because it does look like you feel a sense of empowerment, you feel a sense of strength as a result of the developments that take place. In a matter of school or higher education, again, this could be a really positive turn of events for you. If you've been on a waiting list, you could get some really good news now. If you've had some issues with, whether it was an exam getting lost or some technical issue, given that we just had Mercury retrograde as well. And so this month, right around the same time that all this celestial phenomenon is happening, Mercury will end shadow. So those of you who watch the weekly horoscopes know that I talk quite extensively sometimes actually about the fact that it isn't just Mercury retrograde, but the Mercury shadow period that you want to watch as well. So right around the time that all this is happening, we've also got Mercury shadow ending, which should bring an element of conclusion to what maybe felt like there was a little bit of a mix-up last month. And so this could be things sort of being set right. I see that as one possible scenario. The other thing with this also is you just having sort of getting a lucky break in terms of just doing really well in a test or with a paper that matters to you a lot. So it looks like the universe is really on your side. For some of you out there, I do think that, I'm very much of the belief, I believe so much in higher education. I do believe that is one way among many ways. Experience certainly is a hugely important form of education as well. perhaps more important than formal education. However, I'm all about people empowering themselves, and I do have tremendous respect for the academic environment. I've been so blessed in that regard. And so given that, I'm all about people going for that further education, but I do also believe that it's not about the credential that you earn. It's about who you become in the process. And the way to make the most of any educational journey is to engage it from a level of emotion, to bring your whole self to it and to make personal connections to what you are learning. And that actually is something that I talk about extensively in my book as well, Astrology Realized, is the importance of having a personal connection and understanding that learning is a lifelong journey. It's not something that's going to end in this lifetime. And you can have these moments of sort of formal learning, and yet you've got to stay open to the lessons, which take on all different kinds of forms throughout your lifetime. And that includes if you're learning astrology, that includes if you're in an engineering degree program, whatever program you happen to find yourself in, or you're in a program of self-discovery about yourself and who you are meant to be in this lifetime. Regardless, this could be a time when you make a very strong emotional connection to what it is that you're studying, so you get that clarity as to, you bring joy together with what it is that you're doing, and you get clear on what it is that you really want to be studying, what it is that you really want to do. This can also be connecting with a mentor in one of these higher education places who ends up playing a very important role in your personal development, your intellectual development, as well, the development of your ideas. There are other ways that this energy plays out as well, in terms of, as I said, an element here of philosophy, an element here of the world, of travel, of adventure, of being exposed to more than you knew before. And given that, there is a suggestion here that you could sort of stumble on a way of looking at the world that really is all your own. And you could be invited in some way as part of the lucky energy that's in the air for you. You may actually be invited to take a trip that seems like you've won something. A few of you may actually win the chance to go on a trip. For others of you, it may be an opportunity that comes up that just resonates with, yes, very quickly. That's where I need to go if I'm going to understand myself and my joy so much more, and what my true source of abundance is going to be in this lifetime that much more. As I said, I sort of started off by talking about lottery tickets, okay? And so, yes, I gotta say, when I see something like this, a very small percentage of you might have a better than usual luck at winning. However, I say this, I know I say this often, especially when I talk about the lottery: don't bet the farm. Never bet more than you are very comfortable losing, for a few different reasons. One is, you really want to stay in an energy of abundance. If you really want to win, and this is win in any area of life, really, you want to stay in an energy of abundance. That is going to help you more than anything. And if you feel like you've risked too much, more than you can lose, well, then that puts you in a whole other energy, far from abundance. And so you want to stay in an energy of abundance. The other thing also, the reason I say that is because the way in which our lottery ticket comes through is not always evident to us. And sometimes it is not winning that particular, spin ball that ends up leading to our greatest abundance just a little bit further down the road in a million ways. I mean, just think of the millions of scenarios that could play out by not winning that particular spin ball at that particular moment. All the ways in which the universe can then lead you towards experiencing even greater abundance than you might have otherwise. And so always just what you're willing to lose, what's fun to play with, money that's fun to let go of, that's where you want to be. That's the energy space that you want to be in. But yes, this would be a good time, especially right in the middle of the month. It might be a good time for you if your instinct, if you are somewhere and all of a sudden you see a sign and it catches your attention and you realize it's a sign to buy a lottery ticket, it might be okay for you to actually buy that lottery ticket this time around. One thing is for sure though, the universe wants you to know that you are lucky and that you are blessed and that you are doing the right things in the right time to experience greater success a little bit further on. The universe wants you to engage in the process of creating success, because ultimately, as you already know, it isn't about what you achieve, and the achievement is coming, but it isn't about what you achieve. It is about who you become in the process. The only way you're going to become that person is to stay connected to yourself, check in with yourself, and make sure that every step of the journey you are listening in and living true to that voice of wisdom within you.